Where? Come on now, charger, don't play with me. No, this is not it. Wasting my damn time. Just be in this bag somewhere. Let's get on down this road. Good morning. How are you? Starting my day early. Another day. My glasses. Where are they? Here they go. There they go. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm starting my day off leaving the homeless shelter. It's a little nip in the air. It ain't too bad though. I wanted to try to start getting out at 5, like, and just get out. I want to get out of everybody's way. A lot of the girls are coming back from like the Labor Day thing. A lot of them went home to be with their families, for Labor Day or whatever. So a lot of them are coming back. So it was pretty loud last night with the girls because everybody was kind of talking. And the women that I call this girl, she's considered like the house mom. She looks after what's going on inside the she's basically the snitch, right? She goes and tells staff everything that's going on with everybody. She kind of like oversees what's going on. She's like the snitch, right? So she came back because she was going with her family. So she comes back and everybody's filling her in on everything that happened. The girls that like to talk about everybody and all that stuff. So I'm just like, I don't care what these women are doing, man. I'm trying to get the heck out of here. Um, I'm just painting my nails so I can hang my hand out the window. I feel like a lady when I paint my nails. I feel so feminine and beautiful when I have color on my nails. I just do. I feel like nothing's wrong. The world is my oyster. I feel like the world is my oyster. Gary, you guys came in kind of early today. I didn't think that nobody would be up at this hour. But good morning. How y'all doing? How was y'all weekend? Let me know because I know everybody had a pretty long weekend due to Labor Day on Monday, and I didn't do nothing, of course. I'm just day to day trying to get by in the shelter, trying to figure things out. But like I said, I cannot find an apartment until I start making more money. So I got to go back on my Indeed and see any other jobs that have opened. How you doing? Growing with Rhonda. How you doing, growing with Rhonda? How you doing? I don't know if I ever seen you here before. Have you been here before, Rhonda? Let me know if you've been here before or you don't look familiar. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever gave it to me. I appreciate that. As soon as you guys come in, can you just thumbs me up right away? That helps people find my live stream. I pretty much do the same thing every day. I leave the shelter between 5 a.m. and 5:30 every day. I leave the shelter between the same time, and um, I pretty much do the same thing every day. I get up, brush my teeth, make my bed. I gotta make my bed every day. Gotta have that bed made. I fold up my blankets. I hide my blanket underneath my pillow because sometimes women come in off the streets and they're there, and sometimes people will steal your stuff. Like I went in there one night and one of the ladies had stole my blanket. So of course I'm walking around looking for it. I want my blanket back. You know what I mean? So some older lady came in off the street. She took the blanket off my bed. I don't know who told her or why she thought it was okay for her to take my blanket, but she took my blanket. So I went and did my rounds in the middle of the night, and I'm just like, that lady right there has my blanket, and I want it back. Yeah, you don't just take somebody's blanket off somebody's bed. If you see a bed that's made, that means somebody's sleeping in that bed. That means somebody's sleeping in it, and that means you don't take their stuff. So the lady took my blanket, and I felt bad because she was an older woman. She's like she's in her 50s or 60s. So I'm like, I need my blanket back. So then I'm walking to the elevator, and I felt a little bad because I told the staff member I don't want to say something to her because I don't know how she's gonna react if I tell her that's my blanket. But my blanket is pretty warm, and it's like a blanket that I had over 10 years. So it's like it's one of my good blankets. And then I felt bad, so then I was like, well, let me go downstairs to the men's area and see if the men have blankets for the ladies. So the men did have an extra blanket, so I bought an extra blanket up for her, and I gave it to her. I covered her up. I said, here's an extra blanket for you. And I was like, sorry about that, but that's my blanket, and I feel some type of way about that blanket because that blanket has been in my life for over 10 years now. So This is not my stop right here. I gotta keep going. It's a little chilly out here this morning, y'all. I mean, you probably could make it out here if you had a couple of blankets, but it's just chilly. That fall weather is starting to sneak in fast. Yes, it is. I'm not ignoring y'all comments, sorry, but as soon as I'm able to get to like a stop sign or a red light, then I'll be able to read them. Okay, so I don't want y'all to think that I'm ignoring you because I'm not. I always talk every single morning. I'm running my mouth, so talking about my feelings, talking about my experience in the homeless shelter. But last night, like I said, the house mom, that's what I call her. I call her a house mom. She's like in charge of everything. You know, she's like the person on the floor that pretty much bosses everybody around. She's the outlook. You know, she looks to see what everybody's doing. But basically she's a snitch. You know what I'm saying? She'll go tell the staff what they want to know. I don't trust her. So the girls, she come back in and the girls are like, "Oh my God, we're so glad you're back." And I'm looking at them like, "Girl, please, I ain't glad nobody's back." They go run a report to the staff members about what everybody's doing on the floor. So then they all having this conversation last night, catching up. "Oh, you've been gone for days. We missed you." And I'm just like, they kissing her butt. And I'm just looking like, "Girl, why? I don't miss nobody. I don't even know that woman. Miss nobody. I miss the fact that I'm not out the shelter yet. That's what I miss." But this is my routine pretty much every day. I mean, except if it's my day off, I might stay in the shelter until 6 or 7. But for the most part, I be trying to be out before everybody. Like, you know what I mean? I get up early, brush my teeth, make my bed up. I wash my face with soap and water, and I hit the road, Jack. I try to leave between 5 a.m. and 5:30. Sometimes if I'm up and I can't sleep, I try to want to leave like a little bit earlier than that. But the gym doesn't open until I think the gym opened at 5. So, but I'm not gonna be there at 5. But I like to try to get to the gym as early as I possibly can. That way, when I get done with my workout, if I'm really really sweaty, I would take a shower. If I'm not too sweaty, then I could just wipe myself down and then get my work clothes on and go to work. Cause I gotta be to work today at 9 o'clock. So I like to start my day early and get it done. Like, you know what I mean? One thing I do, I complain, but I take my job very seriously. I don't play when it comes to my money and going to go get my money. I take it very serious. So it's very serious to me because that's the only way I'm going to get out of my situation if I have money. So, and I'm working on my credit. Like I want to increase my credit lines. So I got to do better with that. Like I want to pay these credit cards off so that I can get a new so I can start my percentage, my spending again, but I need to stay in between, I think it's 32% or something a little bit lower than that. I want to stay in between those spending limits, so that's my goal. I want to get those paid off. And I don't owe a lot of credit. It's probably like $2,000, so that's not a lot of money, but I want to get my credit, I want to get my credit raised. I want my credit to increase, you know what I'm saying? But I want to stay in between that utilization rate too. My utilization rate is not good because when you're homeless and you need the money and you paying a lot of gas, I use my credit cards a lot, so which is a good thing to use them a lot, but then it's a bad thing because you have to stay within that utilization because if you don't, they're gonna start taking your points away. So I've been working on my credit, but it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna pay it off. I love to see my credit score go up. I get excited, right? And my credit score is not bad. I'm almost at a good standing. So, but I said by the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, somewhere in that beginning realm, I want to be at good credit, and that's where I want to stay at good credit. Because when you have good credit, you can get stuff. You know what I mean? You can get things. If you got bad credit, you might as well just forget it. But some people will finance you a car with bad credit. You're just gonna have a high percentage rate, and your car payment gonna be high as heck. You don't want no used car that's not brand new and have a bad credit rating, and then you get a high. You know what I'm saying? Your car payment will be high. So I'm trying. I'm doing good actually. You know what I mean? I'm proud of myself for doing everything that I said I was going to do, being homeless out here. Because when I was first homeless, the first thing I said to myself was, I have to, I have to get my credit better. That's the first thing I said I needed to do was do better with my credit, and I did that. You know what I'm saying? I raised my credit. I have credit cards. I don't have a lot of money on those cards, but I did it. Like I did what I said I was going to do. So I'm proud of myself for that fact. You know what I'm saying? So I congratulate myself. I thank myself. You know what I'm saying, for everything that I've done for myself, by myself, because it was all done alone. Me and God did it. So I'm grateful for the drive that I have. Because if I didn't have this drive, man, I'd be somewhere, I don't know. I don't know. So the girls was filling the lady in on everything that was happening. Oh, they're complaining about everybody. I'm just looking at y'all like, oh, get a life. You too old to be sitting around here gossiping about other women in this shelter. Like, who cares, bro? They're not my problem. It's not my issue. But you know, some people can't shut their mouth for nothing. They just got to keep running it. So, what you gonna do about that? Nothing. Some people can't shut their mouth. Everybody thinks that they're like better or have one up on the next woman. I said, listen, girl, we are all in the same situation, so who cares? And they're like, oh, you know, when it gets packed in here, they're gonna start putting people out and all this little stuff. I'm looking at her like, shut up. First of all, stop with your negative energy. Once you start talking negative stuff, girl, you'll probably be the first one to get put out. You'll probably be the first one to get put out, so be quiet. I don't know if you thought you was trying to scare me, but girl, I'm not scared. I have a car. Push come to shove, I can stay in my car. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I stay in my car, the good thing about staying in my car is I save all my money. I save more money in gas. Like, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. No, staying in my car is not something I want to do, but if it's something I have to do, I will do it. Because after a certain time, especially in the winter, the homeless shelters are going to be packed, filled with people because everybody's trying to get to warmth. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be warm, and you know nobody wants to be out in the streets cold. Nobody want to be sleeping in their car when it's cold. We don't want to, but if you have to, most people will say, "Hey, I got to do what I got to do," and I'm the type of person like, "Hey, you know, I got to do what I got to do." But it's a sad world. It's a lot of homeless people. It's sad, man. And some people are homeless, living in wheelchairs. Some people are homeless. Like, just it's sad. It breaks my heart to see, and then it breaks my heart even more when you have people that they don't have no sympathy. They don't care. They just talk down on the person. Like, you know, what did you do to yourself? What did you screw up? Like, what did you screw up in life? They always think it's like a homeless situation. They always think it's drugs. It's not always drugs and alcohol. It could be the woman could have lost her husband. Her husband died, and that was the main income in the household. Or you know, your parents died, and you was living with them, or your roommate left you, or you know what I'm saying. Your man walked out on you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't fully depend on nobody. Like even if I if I ever get married or anything, I'm gonna always have my own income. I'm never dependent on a man to fully take care of me. Never. I'm gonna always have a job. I'm gonna always have my foot out that door because you don't never know. Always stay independent for yourself. Never depend on nobody. Even if you live with your family, like never fully depend on your family because you don't never know if they could come in there and say one day, well, you know, we're selling the house or I'm moving out, I'm moving to another state, I found somebody. You just don't never know the circumstances in your life that could change just like that. We just don't never know. So in order for those things to not affect us, we have to always have our stuff together. You know, when I moved in with my family, I trusted that I could be okay here. I thought that I could get myself together there, and I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. So, and that's a mistake that I'll never ever happen again for me. Like I'm always gonna have my foot on their neck. Okay, I'm gonna always have my foot on their neck. I'm not letting my foot off their neck because if they think they're gonna have their foot on my neck, they're crazy. I'm gonna always have my foot on America's neck. Y'all remember that, okay? I'm never taking my foot off their neck ever because it's an ice cold world out here. And guess what? I'm gonna say it again. Nobody care about you. Don't nobody give a damn. And that's a cold hard truth that a lot of people need to know and hear. Even the younger generation, the people that are in their 20s, don't nobody give a fuck about you. Don't nobody care if you sick. No one cares if you're in the hospital. Yeah, people, you want people to be, even these nurses. Have you ever been sick and you go to the hospital, you hear the nurses at the nurses station, the conversations that they're having, the nurses are nasty and mean, and everybody's mean and nasty. So nobody be wanting to go get care because everybody's mean. Everybody's freaking nasty, disgusting out here. You can't even go to. I went to the what do you call it? I went to. I was supposed to report them too. I went to urgent care one day and I was sitting in the room for like almost an hour. I just needed antibiotics because I had a dental problem, right? I just needed antibiotics. So I'm hearing the nurses out in the hallway sound like they was having a party. They was out there talking, gossiping, talking about their lives. And after a while, I just got up and walked out. So as soon as I got up and walked out, the nurse came out and she's like, "Oh, we're just about to take you." Yeah, of course you're about to take me. I'm not sitting in the room while y'all out there goofing off. Do your job. I left. I just said, "Oh, don't worry about it." I said, "Forget it." And I was supposed to call urgent care and report them, but I didn't have time. I'm in the United States of America. I don't really say my city anymore because you never know who you're talking to. So, good morning. Just found you subscribed yesterday. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Rhoda. How are you? Sorry, I wasn't reading. That's the exact situation I'm in right now, and I just want to. Yeah, you're homeless too, huh? I'm sorry to hear that. Are you in a homeless shelter? Are you staying in your car? Like, what are you doing? I just come here and speak about like homelessness and living in your car or staying with family, the things that we go through, the things that happen, how cold people can really treat you. Even your family members can treat you ice cold. Just don't never know who to trust. That's why I want to die. Nobody cares about me, so neither do I. No, you're cared for. I mean, you just got to find the people that's going to be nice to you and find your family. Find your sometimes the family that you need, that you're looking for, the people that you need in your life, you have to find them. You have to build. You build a family. Don't say you want to go. I mean, trust me, I've been there before. I had thoughts, but I don't really want to go, to be honest. Life is hard, but you got to do the best that you can, man. You got to do the best that you can. It's hard out here, but we can't give up. We cannot give up. We got to keep going. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep trying to stay positive. Life is not always bad. Some days I get up and I feel great, and some days I get up and I'm like, I hate life. But actually, I really do love life. I love living. I love getting up every day. I love seeing the sunshine. I love people, even though sometimes people just don't really love me like that. But I kill kindness with kindness. I try to just be a decent person in society, but we can't give up, Rhoda. Okay, we cannot give up. We got to keep going in life. There's a reason that you're here. Somebody must love you. I mean, you got a family, you got a sister, you got somebody, maybe. I was homeless in my car last year. Now I'm with family, and it's very abusive. Oh, wow, situation, but it was very hard being in my car. Yeah, I stayed in my car, Rhoda, for well, who I'm talking to. I think I'm talking to T. I thought I was talking to Rhoda, but I stayed in my car for like 33 days. It was in the summer, so it was hot some nights. You know what I'm saying? I had to keep the windows up because I couldn't keep the windows down because of my safety and because of mosquitoes, right? Mosquitoes gonna come in the car and they're gonna bite you and eat you up all night long. So I had to keep the windows up in the car, but I also had to be safe, so I couldn't leave my windows down. Even on cool nights, I couldn't leave my windows down because the mosquitoes, when they find you, they're gonna just be feasting on you all night long, and that's very uncomfortable. So I had to leave the windows up, but it was hot in the car. But I had to do what I had to do because for some reason, like when I fell asleep, I didn't feel the heat. I didn't feel the heat. I wasn't worrying about how hot it was in the car because I was asleep. So, but I would rather sleep in my car in the summer than sleep in my car during the winter. Like sleeping in your car right now, and it's like fall. It's probably not too bad as long as you have like 2 or 3 blankets. You'll be fine. You'll be comfortable. But in the morning when it gets cold, you have to get up, and it's hard to get up when it's cold and get yourself together. Because the other night I slept in my car only because I had to work out of state. I had to work in another state yesterday, so I stayed close to. Um, I had to stay close to my job because I had to go out of state to work. So I stayed closer to. Um, I stayed closer to where I needed to be early in the morning, and it worked out. I went to work out of state, and everything was fine. So, and that's the only way I'm able to pick up overtime and make some extra money. But I'm sorry to hear that. If you're in an abusive situation, like even with your family, you have to somehow try to see if you can get yourself out. Like, do you work? Do you bring in an income? Because that's the first thing. Do you have an income? Do you work? Do you have money? Like, that's the only way that you can get out of situations if you have money. If you have the finances to get out, it's easier to get out. But if you don't have the finances and you're not working, you're going to have a rough time. Because nobody out here is going to really give you anything for free. Nobody's going to take you in. I mean, your family, if you have a family you're able to live with or somebody, that's great and that's amazing. But sometimes people say that they want to help you and they're going to help you and you move in with them and then you find out who they truly are. So, and that was my situation with my family. My niece, we had a great relationship until I lived with her. And then when I lived with her, I see how abusive she was towards her own children. And I was like, oh, God, no. I saw too much. You know what I'm saying? I saw who she really, really was, and I didn't like her anymore. I was like, who the heck are you? What is this? Like, what the heck? Who are you? I never knew this side of you. So I never knew that side of her. Her attitude was terrible, and she was just a terrible person. And I was just like, oh, God. She ended up kicking me out and just have her call the cops on me. And the cops came there and laughed in her freaking face. The cops is like, you can't just put somebody in the street in the middle of the night. So I was like, it was so funny. She was looking all stupid. She tried to call the cops on me. She called her mom. Her mom was on the phone, like bullying me too, like trying to bully me out of her place. And this was somebody that was like my niece, but I treated her like she was like my best friend because me and her related so many ways, being like single moms. We just related. So we talked throughout the years. But all she cared about is my business. You know what I'm saying? She just wanted to know my business. And I told her a lot of my business in my life. And, you know, she was one of those people that like to run her mouth and run tell the next person. She would talk about her own mother, so I don't know who I thought I was. But it was a hurtful relationship. The ending of our relationship, it hurt me. You know, it hurt me. It probably didn't hurt her because she probably never really cared about me like that. But I loved her because she was my niece, and I looked at her like she was my family. But when you're in a rough situation like homeless and somebody puts you out, you know, for no mistake of your own, I just felt like she bit off more than what she could chew. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this to me. But, you know, I actually really did it to myself, man. Because I'm a grown woman and, you know, I shouldn't be living with nobody. I shouldn't be living with anyone under my circumstances. I should have just always had my own. Because if you always have your own, you don't have to ever worry about somebody putting you out, especially when you're an adult, you know? So, but I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I hope that you can, you know, feel better somehow. Because every day is not always like a horrible, terrible day in the world. Like some days I get up and I feel great, and maybe sometimes, maybe once a week I feel like crap. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm a well-rounded. I had water leak in my car, so it created mold. I have a job a few hours a week, thankfully waiting on a settlement from a company I used to work for that should be enough money to escape. I'm sorry for what you went through. Yeah, thank you. I wish I could go tip you money on here, but no opinion to let me. What? I'm so sorry. Just get a good man. Just get a good man, huh? Is that the get a good man so he can control you too, huh? So a man can control you too? And you can go live with him and be his personal slave. Is that what you're saying? Find a good man. Finding a good man is not the key to being okay out here. It's always good to do for yourself, and then find that man. And I don't look for men. Men find me. So I'm not out here on the prowl looking for a man. Because I'm in a bad situation, I'm not gonna go find a man because he's gonna treat me the same way. He's gonna be like, well, I took you in. Well, this is my house. It's in my name. Nah, I'm good. I'm good because most of these men out here are in relationships. Most of these men are married. So yeah, that's not that's not that's not the key to getting myself together is go find a man. Like nah, that's not gonna work with me, baby, baby, baby. I need a little bit more. I'm not trying to move into a man's house so he can control everything I do and say and I run this and this is my house and No, it's going to be our house, baby. So don't go into a relationship, even if you homeless and stuff. Don't go try to find no man, because that most of the time don't work out either. Because he gonna be happy that he got a living woman that he can use and take advantage of. I mean, I had men online offer me, "Hey, you can stay with me. I can stay with you, single man. You're looking for a woman, and you think that I'm gonna be giving it up, and that's not gonna happen either. Because that's why you don't put yourself in a situation as a woman to go move it with no man, because you already know what that's gonna be hitting for. He gonna be trying to sleep with you and all types of stuff. Oh, you can come stay here with me for free, and in the middle of the night, he trying to get on top of you. Like, I don't want nothing to do with that either, because he gonna want something. Trust me. I mean, I had offers. I had men offer me, "Hey, I live in New York. You can come here." Like, I'm not just gonna come to be with a stranger, somebody I don't know. You could be a sex offender. I don't know. You just gotta watch yourself out here. I'm homeless, but I ain't that homeless. Okay, I'm not that homeless to be making decisions like that. No, ma'am. You can keep that. I mean, I know some people are desperate and they don't have no other options, but I'm not desperate enough. As long as they have a homeless shelter, that's where I'll be until I touch down, baby. I'm gonna be at the homeless shelter until I touch down. Believe that, because I had family that didn't screw me. What do you think? A strange man that I don't know, what's gonna happen here? I don't have a lot, but I can spare some gas money for you. Living in a car is not safe for black women. It takes two to make it in the United States. Well, it's a lot of people that's out here that's single that are making it too. So I'm single and I'm still making it. So there's a lot of single people that make it in the United States. The car is not safe for anybody. Living in your car is not even safe for a man. So it's not safe for nobody. But people got to do what they have to do to survive, right? So nobody's gonna give up. Like, I'm not giving up, but I'm not gonna just go in the situation because I'm homeless and go find me a man. That's not. I think you hustling backwards there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know people can find relationships and it can work out, but trying to find a relationship due to the fact that I'm homeless, I don't think that's too good for me, because I'm not just gonna go moving with no strange man because he said he got a room in his house. I don't know you. So I'm putting myself in a dangerous situation just by saying, "Let me go find me a man." Like, no, that's not going to happen. It takes two. I feel sorry for you. Why do you feel sorry for me? Why do you feel sorry for me? I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't feel sorry for me. So why would you feel sorry for me? The big cheese. I don't feel sorry for myself. I'm actually doing really well. I just live in a homeless shelter. But no, nobody should get into a relationship just because they're homeless and let me go find me a man. And some of these men out here attach themselves onto women. It happens every day. I see it every day. These women are picking these men up from these homeless shelters, not knowing who they are. A lot of these people come from prison. A lot of them are sex offenders. Like, no, you don't know a person until you live with them. And then when you live with them, you find out that they have all these emotional issues, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm not open to love and relationships and finding someone. I'm open, but I'm not out here searching for it because it's not time for me. So if you feel sorry for me because I'm okay being by myself, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a woman that's trying to get herself together and not trying to depend on, like, "Oh, let me go find me a man just because I'm homeless." Like, that doesn't make sense, because that's going to end in disaster. We already see it. Because I'm getting with you because I need a place to live. Like, that's crazy to me. I don't think that's healthy for women to do that. I don't think that's healthy for even men to do that. Some men in homeless shelters moving with women that they don't know, and then it just ends up to be like a disaster situation. So I don't understand how you say you feel sorry for me because I'm talking like this. Because you're gonna say I'm the type of woman that say I don't need a man. Like, I didn't say that. There is a lot of hardworking good. I didn't say that there wasn't any black men out here. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying. I'm not going to go out here on a man from like whoever man out there that's going to find me,